Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mario Hardy, aka DJ Rad Top, and today what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick background on what I do with my customers, and this is that time frame. Situate here. There we go. This is that time frame where DJs need to be ready to get their stuff in order because this is a season where a lot of people are going to be looking to hire a DJ. Now, of course, the biggest time that people start to hire a DJ is between the months of February, March, and April. And the reason why this is a big month, and this is pretty much for everybody as far as vendors, is because the biggest thing time frame is, of course, everybody gets their taxes back within the March April time frame. So this is the time that where people have an event going on or plan an event for the year. This is the time where they do a lot of their shopping, they're preparing, they're planning because we come out pretty much everybody got recovered from the holidays. After they recover from the holidays, if they're going to do something like celebrate a birthday, they got a wedding, retirement, this is a time where they're going to start doing their shopping. And as vendors slash as DJs, we need to be prepared. And the way we go about presenting ourselves is important. And I know a lot of DJs, we try to do we kind of like try to do ourselves, sell ourselves over the cell phone or telephone, or we let our social media do the talking for us, where we put stuff out there, we put videos, we put pictures, we put different things out there to market ourselves. So what we have to understand is that we need to find a better way of connecting with our customers, with our future clients, and get them to understand why we are that person, that individual that they should hire to do their event. And so when I say this, I'm gonna send this to all my DJs out there. Is I don't compete with no one. I just compete with myself. So always trying to go back in and retweak or kind of make things better based off of what I've done before. So same thing is when you're taking time to tell your customer why should you be that DJ that they should hire. And that's where you need to break it down and explain to them why you are the right DJ for them. Now, keep in mind, not all the time that we're the right DJ for everybody. Some people we're just not going to be the right DJ for them. So we have to actually take time out to get them to understand why we are the right DJ if if it's a perfect fit, and then why we're not in some cases. So what I do is I take time out and I actually give them a full presentation of why I'm the best DJ for the job. And as DJs, we need to take time out to prepare how once we use all our social media, our marketing skills to get a customer to pick up the phone and call us, what are we going to do to let them know we are the right one for the job? So what I decided to do was I'm going to share my presentation and what I actually do when I take time out to brief my customers. So first thing first, let me get this thing set up real quick. Okay. Okay, where's it at? Presentation. There we go. All right, getting that up. Entire screen. All right, here we go. With that being said, pretty much this um, is I give a full presentation to my client. Now, me, I'm really big on I will not allow a client or a customer to sign a contract without them understanding what they get. We as DJs slash vendors need to make sure they understand crystal clear what we are going to provide. One of the biggest things that where a customer gets upset with us as vendors, as DJs, is if they don't understand what they're getting. And then once they get into the event, they realize that that's not what they want. So no one, I'm gonna say this up front, clients will not take time out to properly read the contract. There's only a few that will. So what you have to do is you have to spell it out to them up front. Let them know who you are, what you're about, and what you're going to offer. So take that time to really to give that to them. So me, I'm real big on you're not going to sign a contract until you understand who I am. You're not going to sign a contract until you know exactly what you're getting. So once you sign that contract, after I give you that presentation, you understand upfront, you know exactly what you're getting, and there's no other questions asked. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the presentation. And one of the things I always do up front is let the client know who you are as a DJ. Let them know your experience. So me, what I do is I actually go through and I give them a full rundown of my experience. I tell them pretty much this is why I'm the right DJ for the job. I did my 21 years in the military. Okay, so they know that kind of shows. Okay, there's something good with his background. I have a military background. Retired from the military. 30 years of experience. Let them know up front. The fact is that you don't want to kind of most of the time they're just looking for someone music, and you're not that person that just plays music or a actual DJ entertainer, and this is what you're bringing to the table. So you need to break it down to them. It's kind of like almost in a sense you're giving them your resume of why you're the right DJ for the job. So you just break it down. Be proud of who you are. Take time to get them to understand that okay, I am that DJ. Explain your experience. Like I said, if you're going to do different things, if you're an audio DJ, okay, bam, let them know how many years experience you have in audio DJing. If you're a video DJ or if you have any other special skill set, let them know what makes you different than all the DJs. Again, we're not competing, but we're trying to distinguish what makes us different. So in my case, I've had 30 plus years. I've been DJing ever since I was 16 years old. I have 15 years from video DJing. I DJing when I was stationed in Korea. So I kind of explain that in detail. Now here it is. It's been 10 years. I've been a full-time DJ. So as a full-time DJ, it's different than a part-time DJ. So you're kind of distinguishing who you are, what you're about, and what makes you different than all the rest of the DJs. Then one of the highlights is I have a degree in event planning. Now, a lot of people, even planners, don't even have a degree. So that's a okay, wow, that's something that's going to bring something to the table for the customer, for the client. So you really want to take time out to get them to understand that, okay, not only am I a DJ, but I have a skill set to where I can help and assist you with planning your events. Then I have a degree in IT. Now I always highlight my IT degree because any equipment that I use throughout my. So that's something I let them up front. And then if you have a record, whatever type of record you have, if you won awards, if you and I know my awards are not on here because I couldn't get out to fit on this slide. But if you won an award, if you won a DJ contest, if you've done anything that distinguishes you as a DJ, let them know up front. Me, my biggest thing I put down there is my experience. I did 843 events as a full-time DJ, and I've done 240 weddings. So that lets them know up front, okay, I'm not new to this. I've been around for a while. So right off the bat, they see I'm a well-experienced DJ. So then you go from there, and you want to, like I said, you want to really highlight what makes you so different from all the other DJs. What makes you the right DJ for me? So then you go into your skill set. So then here, my background is I have a lot of mass talent that goes into the event planning services. And when we do that, we have to explain to them, um, okay, we have to really break down and explain to them that this is what makes me different. This is what I'm all about. So in my skill set, I'm a photographer. I have a photographer background, a videographer background. I specialize in audio. I specialize in lighting. Um, if you are a DJ and you have lighting, uh, you offer lighting services. Okay, you know how to DMX your lights. You know how to put together a light show. Let them know up front. These are the things that I do. Crowd motivator. If you're a DJ and you get involved with the crowd, they want to know that. You just let them know up front. Don't let them ask you, can you do something? If they have to ask you something, then that's bad. Let them know up front. This is the DJ I am. I'm that guy that gets out there and I motivate them. I get the dancers on the dance floor. Bam, problem solver. There's been numerous times where somebody's late. The caterer is late. The actual coordinator is late. Something to where you have to change up things. And as a DJ entertainer, we have to kind of like figure out things to where, okay, you know what we can do is, okay, the caterer's running late. What we could do is we can move the schedule up. Now, most of the time, again, if there's a wedding coordinator or a wedding planner there, the wedding planner coordinator would do that. But if there isn't one, that's where, as a DJ entertainer, you've been doing weddings for so long, you can step up and help solve those problems. Let them know that, hey, I'm that individual where I can step up when you need me. Let them know up front that, look, you're bringing a lot of talent to this to your event when you hire me. So you really want to take time out to highlight those things and let people know. Don't let them ask you any questions. And don't get me wrong, they can ask questions so if they understand, but you want to let them know up front who you are as that DJ. So here, this is just a list of different things to let them know that not only do I DJ, I do all these additional things. Now, my primary focus, of course, is DJing, but this is my skill set. These are my abilities. Then, if you are a special issue, if you specialize in something, you need to take time out and explain to them what your special skill set is. And so, like with me, okay. So as a video DJ, I'm going to go in, I'm going to highlight exactly what video DJs do. And I'm going to explain to them, okay, as a video DJ, I put together a combination of 4K cameras, and I use music videos to go through and put together a video effect that gets people motivated, it gets people excited to focus on having a great time. And I incorporate using video cameras, and I incorporate using music videos together to kind of hype things up, to get people on the dance floor. Now with camera, and they see themselves, it's something about when a person sees themselves on that screen, they talk. I'm going to highlight, this is my special skill set. So I'm going to explain to them, this is what makes me different than all the rest of the DJs. Okay. Every single one of us as DJs, we have a way of how we operate. Break it down and get your clients to understand exactly how you work, how you operate. This is my concept of operation. So when I sit down and explain to my customers, okay, this is how I operate. Okay, first thing first is create the vision. My goal is I need to understand your vision. I need to understand exactly what you want me to do and how you want me to do it. I also need to understand what is your total vision for that entire day. So I know how to connect in. I know how to use my equipment. I know how to use my lighting. I know how to use the music to make sure your vision comes true. Bring it to reality. So that's the first step. Tell the story. This is one of those things that is, again, outside of being a DJ, is I'm going to take pictures, I'm going to take video clips, and I'm going to make a video to help and assist with telling the story about how we got to this point in time. Okay, if you're 50 years, you're doing your 50th birthday party, we're going to lay it out. Okay, from you when you were growing up as a child, we're going to tell that story. And this is one of those things to where it shows purpose behind the event. I don't care if it's a birthday party. I don't care if it's an actual video present. Excuse me, if it's a wedding ceremony, retirement, whatever it is, you want to tell the story. And that's one of those things that I like to do is I incorporate a video, pictures, video clips that tells that story. So I help one of those, like I said, my concept is to help tell the story, entertain the guests. As a DJ, this is our primary job, is to entertain the guests from the time they walk in the door to the time they walk out that door. As a DJ, we are there to entertain your guests to the end. And you need to break it down to your customers to get them to understand. Look, I'm not just going to, like, you didn't hire me just to come in and play for certain things. You hired me to entertain your guests. So that's my primary job, my primary focus. Now, for DJs, capturing the moments, this is something that's a little more extra. Now, with me, again, capture the moments is where I actually incorporated 4K video cameras and iPads. It allows me to go through and capture the moment. Now, if you are a DJ entertainer and you offer a photo booth, guess what? You capture moments. That photo booth is going to capture moments. If you have, let's say, if you do have a dance cam and you're video recorded, or anything that you do to take pictures to capture moments, that's what I do. My primary focus in my operation is to capture moments of what's going on. My job is not to take the job as over a photographer or a videographer. That's not my job. My job is to capture what goes on around the guests of honor. I don't focus like say the photographer, that professional videographer. Their primary focus is to capture that guest of honor or that bride, that groom, those moments. They're the stars of the show. What I do is I capture what goes on around them, and so that's what makes things a little bit different. So that's my thing as a concept of operation. So, bam, I let my clients know up front. Okay, this is how I operate. Then from there, after I give a good understanding of who I am, what I'm capable of, and what I do, now I want to hear from the client. I want to understand what is it that the client expects. What is their vision? And I always ask this question to all my clients. What is your vision? What is it that you're expecting for this to happen? Like if it's your wedding day, what is your overall vision for your wedding? Not just what I do, but what is your overall vision? And most of the time they talk about they want it to be a moment of memories. They want it to where there's two families coming together. They want families to have a good time, enjoy themselves. As a DJ, I'm showing them that I'm very concerned about what your vision is, and I want to make sure that I'm going to connect in, and either I'm going to elevate your that vision, or I'm going to really get it into that vision to where it comes in crystal clear to reality. So this is one of those things is you really want to understand what the customer wants. One of the things I stress, and it's nothing against coordinators, it's nothing against planners, is we can't get a clear vision from an event planner or coordinator. You're going to get 80% of what that vision is. You'll never get 100% from a coordinator or a planner. That's one of those things to where I'm real picky to where I really want to meet my clients. I don't want to hear it secondhand from an event coordinator or event planner. Nothing again, they can be the best coordinator, best planner in the world, but I'm just more of as a I'm more in tune to where I want to hear it come from the actual clients that I am providing the services to. So that's critical. You really want to get that personal touch. Now, a lot of times as DJs, we don't want to get too involved, but to me, you need to get involved. You need to get understanding of what your client, who is your client, what makes them special, why is this moment so special, why are they doing this, where did they come from, how did they get here? All those are important because as a DJ, you're able to now have a stronger purpose on what you're doing. And if you show that you don't care, then you're not going to get that same response that you get from your clients. You're not going to get that. It's not going to, you're not going to be involved with it. Now, if you're just doing it just to pass the time, or you're just trying to make extra money, then you don't have to do that. But to me, having that direct connection in with that client, don't let the client keep you clocked out. You need to get involved. Most of the time, some of the DJs I know they are just getting started. You just want to get in, play your music, and go home. But you really need to get involved with your clients. Take time out to really understand what your clients want. Don't let and I say this with all respect. I don't try to disrespect any planners out there, but I say this is because you want to get that strong connection because you can't get that connection talking through a computer. You can't get that connection talking to a text message. You can't get that connection talking to an email, and you can't get it from an event planner because the event planner, event coordinator is what their job is to take what the customer wants and break it down into elements on exactly how everything's going to come together. If you hear it from the client, you get a better understanding of what they want. The coordinator planner answer is going to be more of a textbook answer. That's why I say it's best to get it from the customer, get it from the client, and then take time out to show them that you understand what they're up against. Like me, when I sit down with my clients and they have a wedding coming up, I actually break it down to them. I say, look, this is the critical thing that can make or break a wedding day is time. No, understanding the time that is required to do a wedding day. For example, if it's a event, if it's a birthday party, you want to break it down to them so they understand that whole concept. So right here is a lot of us need to stress time up front so the client knows how important the time is. What we don't do is we kind of like don't get too involved with timing, and then before you know it, you're jumping through hoops to set up. You don't have enough time to set up. And be realistic. Don't do like what some people say, oh, it only takes me what 1 hour, but in reality, it takes you an hour and 30 minutes. So put it out there up front so the customer understands how it all ties together. So this here is a module I built years ago to my clients that are getting married. And I let them know up front, look, a wedding day ain't no joke. It's a 10-hour wedding day. From the time you start getting ready to the time you go home and get undressed. It's a long wedding day. And then you have to break it down so you understand as a DJ. A lot of people think a DJ doesn't really get involved until it's time to start dancing, and that's the wrong answer. If you are a full-time wedding DJ entertainer, your music starts as soon as the guests start arriving. So from that wedding ceremony, normally, okay, we all know wedding ceremonies are probably 30 minutes or less, not unless you're doing something a little bit more special, you have special activities, or you have a large bridal party. You need to break it down and explain to what is it that you're going to do for the guests. What is it that you're going to do to entertain them during this time frame? Okay, I'm going to play the music before the ceremony. Play 30 minutes worth of music before the ceremony starts. I will start playing music like 30 minutes. Normally, it's about 5 to 6 songs, depending on what music you're playing. Then from there, I'm going to play your music, your key songs is what you need for the ceremony. I'm going to play the song for the bridal party comes in, or I should say when the bridal family comes in, when the actual officiant and the groom comes in. Then I'm going to play the music for the bridal party. Then I'll play the music for the bride. Then if there's any special thing like the sand ceremony, if it's not the sand ceremony, it's all unity candle, a rope ceremony, jump in the broom. All these things tie into it. So you have to kind of and on top of that, guess what? As a DJ entertainer, I'm going to provide lapel microphones so people can hear what's being said, what's being done. Those are things you need to lay out, and you need to kind of like explain to them how you operate throughout this process, and you break it down to them. Then you need to go in and explain the difference. Like one of the biggest things I stress when I use this chart is I let them know up front. Now again, everyone's things different. Except everyone does everything differently, but in my platform, how I operate. When you do a wedding reception. There's a formal portion and then there's an informal portion. The formal portion, the spotlight is the focus on the bride and groom throughout the entire time. So these activities that take place during the formal portion should be all focused on the bride and groom. One of the biggest problems I see, I've been doing this as a full-time DJ, is you cannot mix formal with informal. The moment you are going to get the yo-yo effect going back and forth. Do all the activities with the bride and groom first. The guests, as time starts to tick, slowly but surely, guests are going to start leaving. So the guests came to celebrate. The guests came to celebrate the bride and the groom. So do all the formal stuff first before you open up the dance floor. Now, for some reason, some people think it's a great idea to do this, then do some dancing, then do this, and then no, that's the quickest way to end a wedding day. That's the fastest way to end a wedding day. So I always stress to do all the formal stuff first. Get that all out the way. So then once you get all that out the way, let the DJ go in and DJ and play the music the way it should be done. If a DJ has to play 10, 15 minutes worth of music, stop, everybody go sit down to do the next activity, Then everybody come back up, play music again. What the DJ has to do, he and she has to do, is now they have to find something to hype everybody back up again, get the back dance for, and then do that. And the thing is, people are gonna get tired of sitting up, getting up, getting down, getting up, sitting up, getting down, getting up, getting down, sitting down. They're gonna get tired of it. So I'm tongue twisted on that one, but they're gonna get tired of doing that. So I always highly recommend. I don't. My thing is, I'm never gonna tell a room what to do, but I always highly recommend that they do all the formal stuff first, and then they do the informal. Now, for all those in the past that didn't listen to me and they decided to do the yo-yo effect, they wind up not doing certain things because most of the people were gone. A lot of people don't understand the moment you open up the dance floor is when your guests are going to start leaving. So that's why I said wait until your formal stuff first and get that out the way. Then we go into our formal portion, and then bam, they dance until they fall out, and we're good to go. As a DJ entertainer, it's important that you take time out to explain to your customer, your clients, exactly how you operate within that 10 hours. The moment you can explain to them how you are going to flow with things, the more they'll understand how important you're going to be for that day. This series more so is to really explain the details of how I play an important role in their wedding day. So be as a like I said, and if like I said, know understand the process, know how to break it down, and know how to kind of explain it to your clients. Then the next thing you want to do is explain now this question, which as a DJ entertainer, we already know the answer, but I took it one step farther to where I break it down to them. Okay, guess what? Normally, when you go out and you do a birthday party, the DJ only has to do one setup. When you're doing a wedding and you're providing services for the entire day, you might have to set up three setups that entire wedding. You might have to do a setup for the ceremony. You'll probably have to do a setup for the cocktail social hour, and you'll probably have to do an actual setup for the actual reception. This is why you see a big price difference, a price change when you go from doing a birthday party to doing an actual wedding. So when you're doing a wedding, the DJs have to bring more equipment. They have to set up more equipment. They need more time to set up all this equipment. So for a DJ that's coming in, and if he or she is just playing music, then guess what? That's that same regular rate, or that's that same regular setup. To where DJ entertainer, a DJ, is I know I have to set up a ceremony setup. I got to set up something for the cocktail social hours. Sometimes it depends on how the venue is set up. I might not have to set that up because I can cover down with the ceremony setup or the reception setup. Then the reception setup is always going to be the biggest setup. Now, everybody knows it takes probably 1 hour for a DJ to set up a small system. But if a DJ has to come in and set up three systems to support your wedding day, this is where you see the price go up compared to a regular event. Now, an actual DJ entertainer that does weddings all the time knows this, and that's why their price is a little bit more, and you'll see that. But when you have a DJ that, and you got to understand, if a DJ is not familiar with the format of doing wedding DJs, doing wedding ceremonies and reception, it might be a bad idea. Something might go wrong, especially if you have them doing the ceremony and they're not familiar with doing the ceremony. But again, there's different types of levels. So here, there's three different setups. Most of the time, what happens is that some people will go their most affordable way, and they'll just get a DJ just for the reception. That's only one setup. But if you have a DJ entertainer that's going to cover down for the entire day, then you got to break it down. And so with this slide, what I do is I break down. This is the equipment that I'm going to bring. Bam, first setup, wedding ceremony. I'm going to provide two lapel microphones. One lapel microphone is going on the officiant, one's going on the groom. The reason why that's going to happen is we want everybody to hear what's being said at the altar. Okay. Second, I'm going to provide two handheld microphones for your soloist. If you have someone that's going to sing, these are the two microphones that are going to be dedicated for them to be able to sing. If you have more, I need to know up front if they need more microphones. But my system can do up to 4 mics, so 2 lapels, two handheld. We're covered there. Then I'm going to play and manage your music for your ceremony. So right off the back, I'm explaining everything in detail what I'm going to do for the ceremony. Now that's what a regular wedding DJ is going to do. But one of the additional things that I do is I actually also stream the actual weddings. When I say I stream, is more so is I set it up to where it's a virtual stream, a virtual room, which I'm able to stream the wedding as the wedding's taking place, and for other people to be able to see it that's not present. That's just additional service that I do, because I'm sitting there. It's easy for me to set up an iPad that just has a cellular system and set it up to where I can stream it to Zoom. I'm already helping the customer reach people that couldn't make it to their wedding day. Then I'm actually going to video record it. If they don't have a videographer, I even actual video recorder. All I have to do is set up my actual camera, or I should say not camera, my iPad Pro, record it. These are things that I know how to do. These are I'm using my extra talents to benefit the customer. So I'm a skill set out there. Now again, if you're not familiar with it, I'm not saying go out there and do it if you're not familiar with it, but if you're familiar with how to do this stuff, why not operate it into what you do? Okay, so then we move on to the next thing. Now the next thing, now I'm going to entertain your guests for cocktail hour. Normally you want to play jazz or instrumental music. Now, and I always stress to them up front is the reason why I always highly recommend playing jazz and instrumental music is because they don't have to yell or scream over verbiage if somebody is singing. So it's better to play instrumental music so then they can have a conversation, that can talk and able to talk and hear each other. Now, but if you're playing music and it's like you have lyrics in it, then it becomes a problem because now they're going to start yelling, screaming over the lyrics. At the same time, during that time they're doing their cocktail hour, guess what? I have the selfie station there that's going to entertain them. So while the bridal family out there taking their professional pictures, guess what? Your guests will over there having that selfie at that photo booth. Bam. Okay, so now I've explained to them how I'm entertaining the guests. Again, this is my method, my ways of keeping your guests entertained. All right, here it is. We're on, like I said, I just went into the details about the cocktail hour. And on top of that, just to keep myself busy, I'm going to be taking pictures with my iPad Pro of people sitting at tables. Again, this is not what all DJs do, but I incorporate this in because I do photography. So I've added that in as something to do. So bam, music, entertainment, selfie station. Next step, get to the wedding reception. Break it down to your customers. As DJs, we do this 24/7. We don't happen. So give your actual customer, give your clients a snapshot of what to expect. Okay, I'm going to MC. I'm going to control the flow of how things flow. I want to make sure that the photographer, the videographer doesn't miss anything. So I'm gonna give them a heads up. That heads up is when I come up, the coordinator comes up to me and says, "Okay, we're going to do this." I give at least a half a song or a song notification to the photographer, videographer, so they know to get ready, be prepared, and have their equipment. If I know that it's going to take a little bit more time, then I will refer that message back to the to the wedding coordinator to let them know. Explain to your client how you flow. Explain to them that you're going to make sure that if you paid that $1,200 or that that $2,500 for that photographer, that videographer, you want to make sure that everything is going smoothly and they're going to capture those things. What you're doing is you're explaining to your client how you're going to direct their resources, their logistics to make sure their wedding is properly covered. Again, wedding coordinator, wedding planner, if they're present, it makes your job a little bit easier. But as a DJ, entertainer that does weddings all the time, you know, in most cases, you have to step up and do this as a job. Sometimes you have to say, whoa, wait a minute, we can't do this because the photographer had to go to the bathroom, or the photographer had to go get another battery, or the videographer had to go get another stand. This is how you, as a DJ entertainer, show the importance of what you do. You're not just there to play music, but you're helped there to coordinate the flow of how everything goes. Then on top of that, you got to do the highlights as a DJ. If I'm emceeing a wedding, I have to highlight what's going on. I have to be able to let people know, hey, please take your seats. We're about to do the toast to the bride and groom. We're about to do cutting of the cake. You are the navigator. You are the one that makes things flow. You are that MC. And you got to be able to take charge. Sometimes, if you have a wedding planner coordinator there, that's great because it'll help direct you. But sometimes that wedding planner, that coordinator is putting out a fire somewhere else. So as a DJ, entertainer, you got to step up and know how to problem solve things to keep things flowing the way it's supposed to be doing. Then I go back and making sure they complete and would catch them by surprise. You don't want to say, okay, it's now time for the bride to dance with her father, and then the father's in the bathroom, or the father stepped outside to smoke a cigarette. So you have to make sure that all the pieces are there. Because the last thing you want to do as a DJ entertainer is to announce something and resources are not in place. So you really want to take time out to do those. So in a sense, you're kind of at a level as an event planner, coordinator, not a planner, but a coordinator at that point in time. And that's why it's critical that as a DJ, we have a background of some planning and coordinating skill set. All right. So this is a good way to break down how you do, how much to bring in order for things to be work out. So this kind of justifies that money that they're spending. Like one of the things I said back, if an individual can't justify the dollar that I have to spend, then I might not need them. But when you explain to them the importance of what you do and how you flow with it, then things go smoothly. And this is the first initial contact that you're having with that client. What I also is I go in and I talk about the different services. Again, you're explaining why they spending that dollar on you. It's important to understand what is it that they're getting for their dollar. Break it down to them. So for me, the services I provide is I'm a video DJ. They get dance, which is a special video effect for the dance floor. Then I talk about the uplighting and the light effects, the selfie station, the capture the moment services, the video production presentation, and then the video broadcasting streaming services. This again is you're justifying to your client. This is the reason why I'm the right DJ, because these are all the services that I have. And this is why these services are so critical and so important to what you do for weddings. Or the event. A lot of times when I explain to my client the video DJ effect that I that I put on the dance floor, or for the event, or for the highlights of the actual event, nobody else offers this. This is one of the things that you really want to highlight. What makes you special and what makes you different than all the other DJs. So I break it down to them. I explain to them right up front, bam, this is what makes me special as a DJ. I am not only just a DJ, I'm a video DJ. I incorporated 4K video cameras in, and I got 3 cameras, one pointed at the guest, the head table, one pointed on the dance floor, and one pointed towards the guest. I'm going to capture everything that's going on around y'all the entire time. And then I'm going to display it up on my video screens. This is what I'm bringing to your wedding. This is what I'm bringing to your event. And then once your customer, you highlight those things that you're make things special about their event. I'm taking their event to a whole nother level by using video cameras. Then I break it down when it's time to do dancing. Wow, then I'm able to highlight people on the dance floor. And I always say it like this: when people see themselves on the TVs screens, they start dancing even harder. They start going crazy. They start doing some crazy stuff. Bam, again, you're explaining how you are interacting with the crowd and how you are motivating the crowd to have a good time. That's the first one. Okay. The next slide that's going to come up is a little graphic. Is I should do show a demo of how that video camera works. It goes through and it kind of all around. See that? It takes a second to catch up. Once they see that, they get an idea of what that dance camera looks like. The first thing I explain is all my cameras are covered. That is something that really catches their attention because they see my cameras are capturing almost the entire room. This is a good highlight to show, and I always kind of like right now it's acting a little funky because the graphics in here is not probably working too good on video camera. How it captures everything that's going on around what's going on the dance floor. Service. And so we go in, we start this up. Okay, so then we're talking about nowadays. Normally, when we do events, we have this light. So you have to break it down, explain to them. Sometimes a lot of people don't know what uplighting. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know what uplighting is. So you explain to them, okay, uplighting. Uplighting is something that it puts a glow around the room. It enhances the room, and it actually highlights the decor in the room. So the colors that you choose, you want to go with your color scheme. Okay, most of us have the light systems where we can make any color through DMX or through Bluetooth. Break it down, explain it to them. Then from there, you have the monogram. Okay, the monogram, the gobo, is what personalizes the dance floor. This is one of those things where we're going to personalize your dance floor either with your name, your initials, a symbol. And once you choose what you want, we're going to put that out there to where it kind of like really personalize your dance floor. Then you talk about the transition. Now, this is the part that's critical because now there's a different light system. Now we talked about uplight, we talked about monograms, we talked about gobos. So now the actual dance lights. Now a lot of people think uplighting and dance lights are the same thing, but they're not. So the dance lights are the light systems that do special effects. They're the ones that either they flash, they got the bright spotlight, or they got the wash thing going on, or they do like the light and laser effects. So many different lights. We tell them, okay, when it's time to dance, we're gonna basically hit this switch, and all the dance lights are gonna come on. Now, as a DJ, you want to turn on dance or during the formal portion of the reception is because it will mess up the pictures and the video that's taken by the professionals. A lot of photographers, a lot of videographers hate it when DJs turn on their lights too early. So you don't want to turn on any type of spec until it's time to dance. And this is where that means it doesn't have the effect on the video, the videographer, or the pictures that the photographer is taking. So that's a critical thing to highlight and explain that. So then they understand, oh, okay, you're looking out for the whole vision of what we're trying to do here. And you explain that comes with experience. That comes from with working with different videographers, photographers that hate to see those pictures. Or that green that messes up that whole picture that they took. So that's why you want to break that down and explain to them how it all comes together and works. Then, of course, the selfie station. When I talk about the selfie station, it's okay. The client, your guests, are going to go up. They're going to push a button, 5 seconds. It's going to take their picture. After it takes their picture, they can email it to themselves. After the end of the night, all the pictures they're taking, you as the client, you're going to get digital copies of all pictures they're taking. So you have a nice memories of all the people having a good time at the photo booth. Okay. One of the things I do, again, this is something that I do additional, is I take pictures as a secondary service. So what is that? My professional pictures. They're good quality pictures, but they're not professional because I don't edit my pictures. Okay, I give you the pictures that I take, so that's why I automatically let them know they're not professional, because professionals edit their pictures. I do not. So I go through, and during that time, as a second shooter, is I'm taking pictures of what's going on around that guest of honor. It could be a wedding. I'm taking pictures of all the guests sitting at the tables or just talking, chit chatting during the cocktail hour. And this is where I'm actually capturing other things, because your photographer, most photographers, if they don't have a second shooter, um, their primary focus is the bride and groom. So they're going to focus on that or the guest of honor. Me, my goal is to capture what's going on around them. So I'm trying to provide more memories of that day, of that event. So that's just something extra. Again, I don't do it when I'm actually DJing when on the dance floor. Sometimes I'm able to, but majority of the time when it's more so that cocktail, that social time, is just when I'm trying to capture moments. Okay. And then I explain to them that no matter all the pictures and all the video clips that I capture throughout their day, they will get a high-speed link. They'll have access to all the pictures and video clips. Now, one of the things I will do is I will take the video clips and put together a nice little video that tells what happened and what took place during the event. But then I actually still send them all the footage. So just in case if they want to use it for something else in the future, they have access to all of it. Now, next services, again, this is something that's different. A lot of DJs, again, this is one of the things I highlight, because a lot of DJs do not do this. This, again, this is what makes me different from other DJs, is I will take time out to make a production that tells their story. And that production can be, if they have pictures and they have video clips, fine, give me all that stuff, and I'm going to put together a nice little video that's going to play during the dinner time. If for some reason, and this happens a few times, like quite a few times, especially for my older generation, is they don't have a lot of pictures. What I decide to do is I take that extra step out, and I say, well, look, this is what we're going to do. My goal is to make you famous. I want, when I do your event, I want you to be the talk of the town for quite some time. So I'm going to do extra stuff. And so what I do here in this video production is I want to make you famous. And what I do is, and this is what I tell my clients, is we can do a day out photo shoot where it's like a date. You go out, and I just take pictures of y'all having. Some pictures would be staged, but then some pictures won't be staged. I'm just going to get to capture those moments, and then use those pictures and those video clips to tell your story. One of the things that I love to do as a DJ entertainer is I want to take and go that extra mile, because I want people to talk about your event for weeks, for months after it's all said and done. I want you to have some great moments and memories. And this is just something that I always do what I want. This is what I would want. If I have an event, I want to get to look back and say, man, I had a great moment. I had a great time. So here, this is that extra service that I provide that makes me different from other DJs. Is I want my guests, I want my bride and grooms, I want them to be famous. I want them to go and way and beyond. And so I'm going to take that extra. I don't charge extra for this service. This is something that I, as a DJ entertainer, want my clients to have the best moments ever. So I go that extra. I take that extra step. I take a couple of extra steps to make sure. So as DJ entertainers, if you're doing something extra or something to make those moments special, let your guests know. Let your client know up front what it is that you're going to do that other DJs don't do. Let them know those extra moments, because see, one of the things is that your clients have this picture in their mind that a DJ is just going to play music. But it's your job to let them know that you're better than that. You do more than that. So you go in, you explain to them, this is what makes me different. This is why I'm the right person for the job. And then you move on to the next. And this is something that's extra that I do. And again, this goes back to my videographer and photographer background. So I'm able to do that extra, still take that extra step forward and do more for my clients. The next thing um, and this is something that for most DJs is like, and I'm not just saying DJ, but any vendor can do this. Is what I do is I have a cellular iPad. I went out and purchased a cellular iPad. Well, say I have 6 cellular iPads, and all these iPads have the actual tasks that they do for my events. So this actual particular iPad, it allows me to stream the event for people who can't make it. During COVID, this was a very big hit for my clients that were limited to where they only could do 25 guests, 50 guests because of the limitation on the venues. This is something I also do for the military because a lot of people here for Bragg being the largest military installation here in the Fayetteville area is their families are in different states and they can't get to where in some cases it might be a travel situation, it might be because of work. What I do is with this streaming service, it allows me to stream the actual ceremony. And all it is you take an iPad and you put on a designated stand and you make sure that you're able to let people get in and just sit back and watch the ceremony. It's an awesome thing to have. It's a very easy service to provide if you want to do something extra for your brides and grooms. Or and not just your brides and grooms, but just your birthday parties, whatever it is that you're doing. And then by this being a military town, this is an awesome service because while family is out of town, and if they can't make it, at least they can tune in and watch it. So this is a real big service. I highly recommend if you're looking for something to where you can give a little extra something to your clients. This is a good service to incorporate. Then we're going to talk about only after all the things are all said and done. I ask, okay, so I just cover all the services. Is there anything else that you want? Is there anything else? You have any questions about my services? Most of the time, the clients are blown away from all the information, all the detail to where they're like, oh no, they might have a couple questions here and there, but nothing like they're really impressed with everything. And that's is why it's important that you give your clients a snapshot of what to expect. If you explain and this is where you build up your confidence. Most of the time, a client can pick up on the fact that if you don't have no confidence in talking about yourself, then you're not going to do good for their event. And so this is how you show that you're confident to do, you're motivated to what you do, and you need to, again, show the same energy that you're going to show when you do their event. Break it down, have fun with it. Let them know this is what I'm all about. My contract. This is my stand. You don't have to tell me. It's sad to tell that you have to be stuff. That kind of puts you in a bad place. So I let my client, I'm for success. This is my uniform. When I come to your event, if it's a formal event, if it's a wedding, I'm wearing my bow tie, a straight tie. I'm wearing a white shirt, black shirt, depends on the color scheme. I'm going to wear black dress pants and dress shoes to make sure I fit in. And then I explain the reason why I choose black and white as a vendor is because in most cases, when we go out and we do weddings, what's the most common color that most vendors wear? Black and white. When it comes to catering, most caterers, most of the waitresses they wear either a straight tie or black and white or a bow tie. And so you want to blend in to where, okay, we're all on the same team, so we're going to make sure we look like we're on the same team. So the common colors that vendors wear for weddings is black and white. For formal events, is black and white. So this is why this is my uniform and this is why I wear it, is because I want to be part of the same team. I want my team, we all represent the same, we're all focused on taking care of you. You explain this in detail. Now, if you're one of those individuals that you wear Timberlands and jeans and you DJ, hey, if they're okay with it, then that's your thing. But I let my clients know up front, this is what I do. This is my standard. Then I talk about my music. You ain't got to go into detail about the software, the Serato, I use PC DJ Dexter. You don't have to get too much into it, but you let them know up front the basic stuff that they so they can understand they understand that language, that breakdown. First thing first, my reputation is based on I play nothing but clean music. So in my contract, it's crystal clear. I play nothing but clean music, and I always break down. Professional DJs, when we pull music from the record pool, we get music from the record pools. When we get music from our record pools, we have a choice to where we can choose edit versions, clean versions, or dirty versions. Me, all my music selection is clean. So I'll play nothing but clean music. So everything you'll hear come on the system will be clean music. Then I break it down. I specialize in old school, R&B, top 40, pop, hip hop, rock and roll, country, jazz, reggae, Latin, Christian, gospel, and anything else. My background of being able to play the variety of different music is I was in the military and had to DJ in the club system in the military. And DJ in the club system in the military, you have to play a variety of different types of music. So that lets them know I'm very familiar with different types of music. When people ask the questions, I always have that question where so do you play reggaeton or if I play this or so forth? And I break it down. Yes, I do this. This is how I play. I'm familiar with Bad Bunny. I'm familiar with Daddy Yankee. I mean, you break it down and I explain how I play my music and how it operates. Then I talk about my systems. Now I have one laptop that's designated for me to do all my DJing. But if for some reason after all the 300 songs on my laptop and 25 videos, that if for some reason I have somebody then I have my high speed iPad on standby that allows me to pull up the song and be able to play that music. It's very rare that I don't have it, but if I have to, this is my request machine. This is what I do requests on. And then I lead right into that and go to my next slide to where I even have a digital request form. And on my digital request form, they can either do it prior to the event or they can do it during the event. All they have to do is have access to this link. They click on that link. They can do a request during, and it automatically come in and lets me know, hey, you have a request. They came in. It'll pop up on the iPad. Let me know what it is. If I look on there, I see it. Bam! I automatically, if I have it on the computer, I play it. But if I know I don't have it, then I'll pull up on the iPad. Every guest can request up to two songs. They can do it prior or they can do it during. I'll get those requests and I'll put them in a folder and I'll upload that music 14 days prior to the event. When it comes to color schemes, um, as DJs, and this is one of the things I want. I'm gonna spend a little more extra time on this part here. Is as DJs, we need to come prepared. If you have to go to an event and you do not have your own table or your own linen, then that makes you vote. It's critical. It's important that even if you don't want to do the DJ facade, that you have some way to coordinate wire management and presentation. It looks bad for a DJ to show up, not have a table, not have the linen, and then when they set up, you see all these wires and cables all over the place. Presentation is critical when you are doing a wedding or formal event. You can get away with it, like if you're on a birthday party and everything, and I mean, okay, you can get a little bit away with it, but it's better that your presentation it's an actual image of who you are. If you want to be that DJ that has wires and cables all over the place during a formal event or during a wedding, and you are that eyesore in the pictures, that is a representation of who you are as a DJ. So to me, it's more of a preference to where if you want your image to be that so be it. There's nothing wrong with it, but to me, presentation plays a role into how you're marketing yourself for the next customer. Because as you're DJing, your presentation is what's going to catch the eyes of who your next client might be. So your presentation needs to be on point. Now, if you don't care and you're not trying to get more customers, then by all means, it doesn't matter. But again, your image is all in your presentation. So I would say take a little time into, you know, buy a table, buy a tablecloth, buy a black tablecloth, buy a white table, whatever, but have your own. Don't go to a place and they don't know that you need this. If it's a request and you put in like hotels, most time hotels are going to take care of you, but not all venues are going to be available to take care of you when it comes to this. So be prepared. Okay. Here, I go back and I just highlight the gobos, let them know, okay, I have a booklet. You can choose from the booklet. If you don't like what's in the booklet, then you can go to the website. And then from the website, you have 100 choice of 100 different ones. Let me know the model number and I'll take care of the rest. So again, highlighting the services that's important to their event. Then talk about the uplight. Okay. I always stress the colors. These are the 5 popular colors that a lot of people like to use for most events. Magenta has been number 1 in the 10 years I've been in business. And, these are different colors. As your DJ, as my light systems, I can control the lights with my color wheel. My lights are controlled by Bluetooth. So I can make any color that's necessary to go along with the decor. And then I give them an example. Okay. If what a lighting looks like. As you look up in the top one, you see a plain room before setup, and then at the bottom you see it's highlighted. The first thing I stress to them is that in the top you see how ugly the orange carpet is. Well, if you look at the bottom, the kind of the uplighting takes away from that ugly look. So uplighting does have a major effect on rooms that are dark. Now, I will let them know up front, if the room has a lot of natural light and is so much in it, it's a waste of time to even purchase uplight. I don't even want to put up uplighting when I know it has no effect. So I always let them know up front, hey, if your venue got a lot of natural light coming in, this uplighting is not going to have a good effect. Be honest. Be very upfront and honest. Don't get the dollar. Be upfront with them. Tell them up front, hey, this ain't going to work because you got a wall full of windows. And then last but not least, I always, at the end of my presentation, I always give them an example. I give them an example of what my setup looks like in action. And so this is just a little video clip, and they normally play it. Then I go into the prices, and then I talk about the prices, and I can actually shape my setup into their vision and into their budget. And then from there, presentation is over and we're done. So one of the things I wanted to, like I said, I want y'all to get hands-on when it comes down to your clients, your customers. And it is important. To me, it's so important that before they sign off on any contract, is they know who you are up front as a DJ. You let them know up front, because you have some people, like I said, that's one of the things that oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was so video. I didn't see all these different comments. Tell your services up front. Exceptions and vision. Let's see what else is. Coordinate the flow of the wedding. Okay. It is good to have a meeting for all vendors for a wedding to ensure the flow runs smoothly. This is, yes, Faith. This is actually important. This is critical because it is, and this is one of the things I try to do is if I don't know who the vendors are, I really want to meet the vendors because we're all on the same team. We're all there to provide a purpose to make sure the event turns out to be successful. So yes, that's a very important point. Let's see, Deborah said that's what you do. I still look back on my pictures and video coming up on my 5th year. And see, that's what one of the things is, again, that's the impact I want to have on all my clients is I want them to be able to look back and say they had a great moment and I was a part of that moment. And that is how you maintain a good relationship as a DJ entertainer in your community. Is if you actually take it to that next level don't be that guy, that girl that goes out and just meet the standard. You did everything, you met the standard, and you're done. I've never been that way when I was in my military career, and I'm not going to start now. Is I'm always going to take it beyond. I'm going to meet the standard and then take it at least 1,000 more steps above that to make sure that when they look back at that moment, it says, "Man, that DJ, he really made our day." That's the effect that you want to have. So take that time out to explain to you, because I sat back, I listened to a client the other day, and I asked the question why they didn't want to go with that DJ that they had talked to prior to me. And what it was that DJ didn't have that show that confidence that they were the right DJ. So that's one of those things as DJs, like I said, you got to find a way, or a way to communicate with your clients, especially in the initial process. One, so let them know this is the reason why you want me to be your DJ. Me, I use PowerPoint because PowerPoint is a strong way of communicating with people. It gives you vision, or I should say, a visional way of showing people what you're capable of doing. If you have video clips, you have pictures, that's something we use for marketing. So again, it's important that you take that time. And my thing is this: don't let a wedding planner, wedding coordinator, your social media, your apps, your different things do all the communication. Um, don't let that happen. See, Deborah, I've used you for 3 of my events, and there is no other for me. Well, thank you, Deborah. And that's what I said. It's like once you, and that's the thing is when you go that extra mile for your clients, they'll want to come back and use you again. And that's what I like. A lot of the families here in Fayetteville, I've had some families to where I've done the bride, I've done the brother, the sister, the other sister, the cousin, the aunt, the uncle. And it's like you keep it in the family. You keeping the DJ in the family. So it's kind of like it's important that when you go and you perform as a DJ entertainer, you're taking, and you're not, keep in mind, you're doing what you can to make sure that event is extremely successful, but at the same time you're advertising for that next client. You're advertising for that next customer. So that's why I stress to like always have a great presentation. Always do the right thing because you never know who's watching. So as DJ entertainers, let's see, Deborah, you're building family entertainment. Absolutely. That's one of the things is that I've that's one of the biggest things is that my biggest client, my biggest target clientele is families. I'm doing more family entertainment, more family type events, and I want them to keep coming back. So, but this was more so. I mean, I kind of educate a lot of my clients out there too. For they're watching. Some of you already seen this presentation, but I really wanted to go through this presentation for the DJs because I'm really going to let you know. There's great talk about these different ways and different methods of doing things, but that one-on-one, face-to-face, personal contact with that client. And again, nowadays in technology, we can do it virtual, so you don't have to actually show up at a like and give a full presentation in person. You can set up where you can do it online, and it's good to give them, like I said, give them a full understanding of what you're going to do for them. Break it down. First thing you want to do is tell them who you are. Tell them what you're all about. Tell them, explain your experience. Let them know that you just didn't start this yesterday. You've been doing this for quite some time. And then explain what other special features and talents that you have that you're going to utilize to make sure their day is going to be perfect and everything's going to go smoothly. Then you talk about the services that you're going to provide. Talk about how the services work. If you have a unique thing that you do, go in and highlight, but that especially those things that you know that you makes you stand out from other DJs. Let them know, bam, guess what? I'm a video DJ. I'm gonna bring this thing. Oh, I own a 360 photo booth machine, or I have this special photo booth, or I have these special light effects, or I'm doing mapping. I'm gonna map out your cake. All these special things that you do that's a part of your service, you need to highlight those things. You want to define what makes you different than the other DJs. Again, we're not competing with the other DJs. We're defining what makes us different. All right, so look, everybody, I hope y'all enjoyed this show. I'm just about 10 minutes or 11 minutes over my time. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all have any questions from especially from my DJs, look, inbox me, hit me up, let me know. I have no problem helping you develop a program, or actually not a program, but a presentation to break down and explain your operation. Because the more that you pass on to your clients or let your clients know this is what you're capable of, the better chance you have of getting hired. All right, peace. I'll talk to y'all later.